Yo, what up, friends? Luke here, Ashtanga Yoga School, Bellingham. I'm just gonna. Here we are. Today is November 21st. We've been Bellingham's yoga school has been shut down again because of COVID-19 rates. I anticipate this to last quite a while. It makes me sad, obviously because I care about people and we want to be open for you. But we're just going to practice some ahimsa right now. We're going to practice some santosha right now. We're going to be chill and we're going to just smoothly ride this out. So I'm just going to go ahead and pass the mic over here to DG's website, which has got some amazing online courses, definitely better content than anything that I'm capable of putting out. And there are 3 courses that are recommended for our yoga teacher training, and they are also very good companions to your personal practice. So everybody's got a different personality, different place where they are in the practice. I'm not trying to give you a yoga teaching over this video, but I want to recommend these courses because I think that for me, if I think about my life and my practice, yogas chitta vritti nirodha, I get a lot of chitta vritti when I'm confused. And I tend to not be confused when I've got a lot of answers. Now, granted, you can have answers without the right questions, but I don't really think that's the issue right now. I think what you need is to just have a companion. And this is an excellent time to have some thought, some intellect, some buddhi jogging alongside you through the pandemic. So DG's serving up several courses. I'm not here to sell you on courses. I'm here to direct you to the ones that, to me, are essential as they are complements to our little yoga school in Bellingham. And they are also pillars of our yoga teacher training. I would also like to point out that Yoga Alliance has created a COVID-19 exception. And since David is actually the co-director of our RYS, you can take these courses and then attend some of the online Zoom meetings or whatever we're doing at the time. Right now we're doing Zoom Tuesday, Thursday, 6 to 8. But if you're a part of that teacher training, these can actually count as hours because this is content that is the exact same as what we do in the teacher training. So you can use it for continuing education. You can use it towards your 200-hour. And if you already are a 200-hour yoga teacher training student at Ashtanga Yoga School Bellingham, you've already kind of been given the lecture on this. But without further ado, number 1, the purpose of the 8 limbs is fucking awesome. It's magical. It's excellent. This is what you want. Listen to this thing. Just kind of sit there, soak it in. This is the foundation to me of understanding what the heck we are doing, what makes us different, why we are not, hedonistic, and that we have a practice of 8 limbs of yoga. We have ethics. We have all kinds of stuff that's in here. And David condenses it right down into a power-packed little morsel of mind succulency. Secondly, I recommend Yoga Sutras for Ashtanga students, books 1 and 2. During the teacher training, we do book 2 first. So for our yoga teacher training, what we do is we teach Samkhya philosophy first. We do that with some little helpers of some Vedic philosophy like the Upanishads and the Gita. But ultimately, we like to start with Yoga Sutra book 2. Even though we talk about and we sort of reference the first book of the sutras, particularly Yoga Sutras 1-2 and 1-3, Yogas Chitta Vritti Nirodha Tada Drashtu Svarupeva Stanam. But really, book 2 has been taught first in this training that we do in Bellingham. And David, I think, agrees with that approach, and that's just how we do it. We go to the practical aspect first. So highly recommend these. And you might look at it and be like, oh man, there's so much free content online. Not like this, there's not. This is what you want to do, kind of get your headspace right. It's when it comes to intellectual endeavors and mentals, It's quality over quantity, friends. Quality over quantity. My personal opinion, as a yoga teacher, David's explanation is the best. You can sit around yoga teacher training with me and listen to me ramble on and on and on. David's the one that taught me about this stuff, at least initially. And so I recommend this. And if you're just going to have one thing, I would recommend this. So number one, 8 limbs. Number two, Yoga Sutras for Ashtanga students. Foundations first, notable mention that's for certain people, but for me, the next most important one. Now, I also want to just say, like, if you have the primary, if you have the intermediate, this is your personal practice. Like, that's, I think, a relationship between you and your yoga teacher. I mean, most of the students in our Mysore program are not confused about what asana they are doing at home. Like, they know to just keep doing their practice. I'm talking about supplementing that. So I'm not really giving you recommendations on like asana rich type stuff. David has like vast collections of YouTube and Vimeo videos on how to do Trikonasana or Janu Sirsasana or whatever. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about like a friend to carry with you on the path, since you're going to be socially distancing. So you might as well have like a proverbial friend in the ether. Now, Vayu Siddhi is what I'm talking about. So I actually struggled with this thing. I was scared of it. I had heard stories about how pranayama could mess you up and that you got to like learn from a master. And then I wondered, like, why the heck did I never learn that from David in a Mysore room? Well, we can get into that some other time, but the bottom line is that David and several other teachers, but David's bringing back pranayama in a simple way. And I've attended, he basically teaches this sequence at workshops and so forth. And so I bought it, kind of got a little bit frightened of it, went to a workshop, got it ironed out, went to another workshop, got it ironed out. And now I practice it pretty simply. And I feel like it's just a really good thing to add to your practice, especially during the time of the pandemic. So that's all I got to say. And DG, if you're watching this, I love you, man. And thanks for providing us so much great content. Thanks for being you. Thanks for keeping this available to us. And it means a lot. And for my students, you know, I'm super proud of all of you. You know, we banded together during this interesting time. Govinda Kai coming over to Bellingham, supporting our little studio with just 5 students. And so now we're shut down for the time being for the holidays. Everybody's got to nestle into their home practice space, and which for me is in a very tiny little space. So these are my recommendations. And if you're starting teacher training, definitely invest the $130 in these 3 things. And depend on your personality and your level of like current knowledge of the practice. If you're most beginner, I would go Purpose of the 8 Limbs. If you're kind of intermediate, or you have an existing practice and you're all good, I would go for the Yoga Sutras. And if you've been practicing for a while, like you got maybe a year under your belt of doing primary, then I would add the Vayu Siddhi. All right. Take care, everybody.